Hey everyone, welcome to the 5th episode of the Terra Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, Joseph from Casa Crypto. So this week we're going to be covering the time period of January 29th to February 4th. This was a pretty passive week in terms of news. The Luna chart is closing pretty high. It looks like we're in a break of the downtrend. Don't quote me on that. I am not. I still haven't exited a lot of my stable allocations, so I'm definitely proceeding with caution. But it seems like we have a pretty green and essentially a good outlook for the upcoming month. And I have a feeling that the majority of DeFi and protocol developers inside of Terra are waiting and waiting and essentially just working in the trenches to make sure that they have something impressive and some massive launches leading into Q2 and into the end of February. So let's go ahead and get into it. But I want to thank everyone who has been giving me support and subscribing to the channel. There has been a massive amount of engagement since I've started. It's actually pretty mind-boggling to think at 144 of you have clicked that subscribe button, who have committed to watching my videos on a weekly basis. So I'm glad that I get to bring you guys the greatest news easily and conveniently. And I'm not going to get in the way of that anymore. So if you're watching right now, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and let's get into it. So the first proposal, or the first news from the Terra ecosystem, is going to come from the 185th Terra Agora proposal. This is going to essentially be covering a very technical upgrade to the Terra ecosystem on-chain. And this is going to target the base pool size and also the pool recovery period to 36 blocks. I have very limited understanding of the Rust and the coding and the smart contract implications of this and how it truly works. But as far as I know, and as far as I'm seeing from a lot of the feedback around people talking about it, it's from Jump Trading Crypto, and they are essentially targeting to improve the stability of the UST Peg. This is a good move, obviously, if that's the true indications of this, or the true implications of this. I've been waiting a little bit of feedback from someone from TFL. I would prefer Do.29 to give a little bit of his opinion, but it doesn't seem like he hasn't responded to this. But if someone has seen him actually talk about this proposal, please link that. Let people know in the comments. This is a very important proposition. UST peg keeping is a vital portion to the ecosystem. So definitely keep this in mind. Definitely go read the proposal if you guys are smarter than me. Like this is really complicated stuff, so I'm not even gonna try to digest it for you guys. Definitely give it a look. Next up, we're going to be talking about Proposal 186. This is this week's biggest news, and it's covering the partnership, a 5-year exclusive partnership with a major American professional sports franchise that the Terra ecosystem will be funding using money from the Terra Community Trust. It will be about 40 million USD dollars, and this is massive. This implies and will create a new set of eyeballs onto the Terra Money ecosystem. And we will have essentially a marketing share and a marketing grab inside of the arena. This could be any kind of sports franchise. It's an unknown team. Once the proposal goes through and the contract is signed, I believe Terra Money plans on announcing who the professional sports franchise is, but is within either the MLB, so those are the 4 major sports and the 4 major leagues inside of the United States. So this is just in general a massive proposition. And if you read through Do.29's proposal, you will see that once this contract goes through, Terra Money will immediately begin discussions with said sports franchise to essentially accept UST as a form of transactional currency inside of the arena. So we potentially will see the day where someone can go and buy popcorn at the arena or just buy some booze and go watch their favorite NFL game. So it's going to be really interesting to see this develop and flesh out. I think that this is a very important proposal to go through. I am a little bit hesitant if it goes through the MLB or the NHL. I just personally do not think that those sports offer or bring much in terms of audience grab, in terms of massive attention. If you do something like the NFL or the NBA, you open up a much more open audience to what Terra and crypto can do and the doors that it can open. So definitely keep that in mind. Check out the proposal. This is a very important, massive proposal that needs to be voted on. Last but not least, we're going to be covering the Community Spend Proposal 180 for the TerraBitesPod. They are requesting 400,000 UST to fund their and expand their operations and essentially take the TerraBitesPod to the next level. The TerraBitesPod has been a blue chip in terms of expanding Terra ecosystem knowledge. And personally, when I first got engaged into crypto, TerraBitesPod taught me essentially everything. I have learned a massive amount of, just in general, evaluation and a lot about the Luna ecosystem and how to even engage the ecosystem by using Anchor protocol. I still remember the very first video that they released on how to use Anchor and how to connect your wallet. That was my first experience in DeFi, and I can't help but want these guys to succeed, and I am incredibly happy to see that they're going into a developer and growth of community content direction. I think this is vital for Terra to grow, and I think that they are going to play a major role, and they already are playing a major role in bridging that gap between the developers and the community. And they definitely need the support, and they should get this funding. I'm going to shamelessly plug myself now at this point. So TerraBitesPod, if you guys need an intern to create Terra Weekly Roundups or any sort of content, please hit me up. I can send you guys my resume tomorrow. But yeah, can't say anything better about the TerraBitesPod team. Great group of people. They definitely need your guys' support, and this is a very modest ask. Okay, so next up we're going to be covering some, this news is kind of off-chain of the Terra money. This is kind of big perspective in terms of just crypto. Luna is going to be potentially listed as a spot trading option on FTX. And this is coming during the same week where FTX has now accepted UST as a currency on the platform. And this proposal, or this voting, is essentially putting the near token versus the Luna token. And I haven't looked at the voting share right now, but I have a feeling that the Terra ecosystem is going to pretty much destroy this poll. I have a feeling that a lot of people are in here. Oh, you can see that a lot of major accounts are engaging here. But for those of you who are ready to gamble your UST gains away and plan on where Luna is going to go next, here's your opportunity. Go vote. Next up, we're going to be talking about Anchor. The Anchor team has been hard at work, and this week they essentially explained and talked about their Anchor V2 borrow model, and it's essentially redirecting the yield to earn. It's going to essentially correct the relationship between borrowers and depositors in the protocol. So this will open up the door for liquid staking derivatives, specifically Luna X and AVAX. And this is going to enhance the protocol's ability to minimize interest rates and to incentivize further borrowing by adding new assets. And it's going to, I believe, essentially remove and eliminate all of the FUD that we have been seeing about the yield reserve. And yeah, definitely give this thread a read. This model is going to be implemented pretty soon, and I believe it's still up for votes. So definitely give this a look. Every week, Anchor Protocol seems to be having AMAs. So if you guys want to engage a little bit more in depth with them and directly reach out to the developers, please check those out. There's a lot of information dropped in those. Next up, Anchor Protocol also investigated some wormhole hack that happened and occurred earlier this week, February 2nd to be exact. But there was essentially 120,000 Ethereum tokens that were compromised through Wormhole, and the team immediately responded to that, and they have fixed and refunded the Ethereum that was compromised. But this did not affect Anchor funds, and they were not exploited. So great to see the Anchor team responding very immediately on that. In case you guys were worried, your Ethereum is safe on Anchor. Next up, we have a Mars sighting. Mars team has gone a little bit silent since their announcement of Q2. They've been giving those weekly updates, but this week they gave a final targeting. They are targeting that launch for February 21st. It's going to be the start of their lock drop. And also their Discord has completely opened up for everyone in the public. It seems like they're preparing and they're getting ready for it. And it's great to see that the team is advancing. And you guys got to remember, this is a super high level protocol. This is not some random team of Rust coders that are developing in their garage. This is Delphi Digital. This is a massive and a huge protocol that is trending and wanting to become redefining the entire money market scene and becoming the prototypical crediting system for DeFi, for maybe even regular credit systems. So excited to see where this is going to go. Excited to hear more from them. I'm sure they'll release more news in the coming weeks. Next up, we're going to be talking about Kuji. Kuji has finally, at long last, released the aUST bids on Orca. So now you can apply your aUST as a bid and accrue the 20% APY while you're waiting for your bids to fill. So this is a massive implementation. And the biggest news in this is that they are not going to have the paywall. The paywall has completely gone away. They are no longer asking you to stake 5,000 Kuji. Instead, the 5,000 Kuji is being used as a paywall for the premium dashboard. And it seems like the premium dashboard just provides a little bit of more information on your effective APR, your real-time APY, gives you a little bit more on-chain analysis if your liquidation is going to kick. And I have a feeling that the Lighthouse DeFi team, who released their own liquidation support system, played an instrumental role in all the Terra community uprisings that happen around this. I think that they played a major role in making them take away that 5,000 Kuji staking minimum. So definitely a very interesting development there. I'm super excited to use this. I'm definitely going to be migrating some aUST over there. Next up, we're going to be going into the quick news phase. There wasn't much development on these protocols other than that the Prism protocol has launched their Forge. Everyone has been aware of this in the upcoming weeks. I believe I saw that their token was at about 4 cents for the Prism token. I personally didn't participate, but if you guys want to participate, the window is closing. You guys have to deposit within the next sub 14 hours. So definitely check them out and get over there if you want to get some Prism tokens. Next up is going to be Stader. Stader has rolled out, or will be rolling out, essentially a way for people who have been staking with Stader in their community pools like I have. If you've been staking in either their community airdrop or one of the three, you will be able to now transfer your staked Luna to their liquid staking without losing your vested ST tokens. And that's the only reason why I haven't even been participating in Luna X, because I don't have enough liquidity to participate in the other side of the house. So now I'm glad that I can losslessly convert to the Luna X. The only thing is that you cannot avoid that 21-day period lockup. And it seems like that 21-day lockup is unavoidable here. So definitely go check this out if you have any Luna staked in one of their community pools. Next up is going to be Apollo DAO. Apollo DAO team has been quiet as of late. They did have a busy January month, but they did announce that the Deviants faction will be launching their dev token through their Apollo's Farmers Market. So this is only the second project to launch through there. So excited to see them creating this. And Deviants faction is a quite popular NFT group. I'm not too familiar with what they're doing, but it seems like it's a trading card platform. So very interesting to see that partnership there. Next up is going to be the Apollo DAO, Apollo vaults that they've launched. Specifically, they've launched the aUST and the AUST pools from Astro with the Astro rewards. Some great APYs there, and also they launched the aUST vault from Nexus. So definitely check those out if you guys want to go yield farm that. Next up is going to be Astroport's implementation of low volume asset LPs. This is specifically for the LPs and protocols that are going to be launching that don't have much traffic or much engagement. It seems like in old DeFi, there has been an issue with LP pools that are low liquidity, not many participants, that struggle with fee generation and essentially activity. So this is their way of helping mitigate those impacts and having their pools be just as efficient as everyone else's. So good development on Astroport. It's accomplishing their bigger goal, which is to be fair to not only to liquidity providers but also to DEX and also to swap users. So very important for them to develop this. Excited to see that. Very under the radar release. Next up, we're going to be talking about Spectrum. They've had a pretty quiet week, but they did launch some vaults. This tweet is specifically covering their vaults with some of the Nexus pieces that are going on. So they have some great APYs here with the NETH PSI vault. You can definitely go check them out. if you want to go provide some liquidity there. Next up is going to be Galactic Punks. For a long time, I've been seeing this whole Galactic Gridz and the colonies, and I know that Galactic Punks is playing a pivotal role inside of the ecosystem beyond just having JPEG images. They are playing a massive role in the Galactic DAO, and they are developing some major tools. And it seems like this week they are launching tomorrow their mint for the Gridz, where you're able to essentially get 3 worded phrases and be able to mint these pieces on the Terra blockchain. And it seems like they're going for a 2 Luna price. Check that out if you're interested in minting that. Next up, we're going to be talking about Leap. Leap has launched an integrated Anchor protocol within their wallet. It seems like Leap Wallet is going for a massive integration for entirety of Terra Ecosystem usage cases. Not only are they supporting NFTs, they are supporting Anchor. They want to support Kato. They have slowly been onboarding more protocols throughout the ecosystem. So excited to see this, how you can just use one wallet and directly interact with the staple of the ecosystem that is Anchor. Last but not least, we're going to be covering this week's community tweets, and the first one is going to go to Wolf of DeFi. So Wolf of DeFi covered the Apollo DAO journey this week, and he has essentially given his thesis, his bullish sentiments on the protocol, and he has summarized in great detail and great lengths to their developments, their progress, how their tokenomics work, and in general their opinion on the total direction of the protocol, and why they are so bullish on their service and their token. And so definitely give this thread a check out. I am excited to see this, and this is not going to be the end of their series. They're going to be releasing several more, and this week is only touching upon Apollo DAO. So great to see this thread just breaking down the specifics for why they're bullish on Apollo. Lastly, we're going to be talking about Harry.UST's thread covering Do Kwon's proposal for the sports franchise. He essentially took the Agora proposal and wrapped a nice little bow on it for you. If you want all the necessary information on this, please go into here and find out. There were so many things that I glazed over in the original Agora proposal that he captured. And it really just kind of summarizes how important and how massive of a partnership this is going to be. For 5 years, Terra Luna UST is going to be front and center in this sports franchise. And if it's as major as the Agora proposal makes it sound, this is a great opportunity and a massive growth exposure for the ecosystem. So thank you, Harry, for giving us this great little digest of one of the most important Agora proposals of the year. So this is going to wrap up this week's greatest news. It's been a slow week besides the massive sports franchise announcement. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and if you stayed in this long, thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to catch you guys next week, and hopefully we have a little bit of more news and some more engaging news. So yeah, thank you for stopping by. I'll catch you guys next week.